Hi guys, just a little impromptu video from me. I'm going to be talking about EMDR therapy, and yeah, basically, if you aren't going for EMDR therapy, or it's not something that's on your radar, this probably isn't going to be a particularly interesting video. I won't be offended if you don't stay with me. But if you are someone who's diagnosed with PTSD, for example, EMDR therapy is one of the options. And I'm not doing an information video about EMDR therapy. What I'm actually doing is I start EMDR therapy tomorrow. So I just wanted to do like a little diary about it and just kind of what it's like, and that kind of thing. And I don't want to talk about the content of my therapy. I want to talk about kind of the process and the effect that it has on my mind and body. Um, EMDR therapy, it's eye movement desensitization reprocessing. Yes. And basically, yeah, so I mean my eyes used to race a lot when I first got PTSD, when I first developed PTSD, and they seem to have calmed down a lot now. But I did actually get into quite a tricky situation last year. It was a very stressful situation with someone, and they started to be really rapid again. So, for example, like if it's something that you get, you might feel this too, but I literally get like, I can feel my eye vibrating. So I know that they're flickering. And yeah, so it's quite stressful. Um, and also what else? So what am I looking to get out of EMDR therapy? I mean, my expectations are that I have hypersensitivity, and it's really intense. It's like I was talking to someone the other day, and they were making a joke about the fact that I've got hypersensitivity. They're like, yeah, what's that? And it's like, yeah, no, not what's that, because the whole time they were talking, they were clapping and doing all these things, and I kept jumping and freaking out, and I had to keep turning the mute on. So on the one hand, maybe they were trying to say, like, if you acknowledge it, you're kind of labeling yourself. I don't know really what they were getting at, but as far as I was concerned, I was jumping, freaking out. It's not on purpose. It happens as soon as I hear the sounds, and it doesn't matter. Like, oh, I don't have to give it a label. I could just say, you're freaking me out, can you shut up? It doesn't really matter. But I think the point is, it's real, and it really is like the thing that really makes my life very challenging. So that's why I've literally gone from being someone that travels around the world, goes to galleries internationally, like travel on my own to those places, meet contacts, meet people, just kind of like a crazy schedule, racing around the city, getting tubes and stuff. And like fast forward 3.5 years, and it's like I don't even know how to get on like a tube or a train, and I wouldn't know. I just don't. It's like, also I don't want to be around certain things, and the sounds and the crowds, and there's a lot of stuff which I used to enjoy in the past. I didn't enjoy like loads of sounds and stuff, but I enjoyed going to busy places and like, having lots of people around, and just being where people were. Whereas now, if I walk down the street in the nighttime and it's dark and there's no one, I'm happy. And you can say, oh, that's because you're a bit of an introvert. Well, no, I'm not an introvert. I'm both. I'm introverted and extroverted, as we all are. And I think it's really, that's the kind of label I don't find useful. Things like, oh, I'm an introvert, and it's like, well, you are definitely going to be one if that's the way you think you are, but actually you move between the two. There's times when we're really confident and we feel really comfortable in a situation, or we really want to push ourselves, and then there's other times when we're like, actually, I don't, and I guess for me, the reason why I'm like that I'd say it's because I can't stand being around loads of people and stuff. And I hate dogs, and metal sounds are horrendous. But actually, the reality is, I don't really have those issues. Those are all part and parcel of the hypersensitivity. So the sound, which makes my heart go, my breathing stop, makes me feel sick, depending on the certain type of sound from the metal. Actually, the metal always, anyway, whatever. The point is, the point I'm making is that I'm not actually, I don't really dislike being around loads of people. I don't really hate dogs. And by the way, it's the sound. It's just, that's what it is. It's just the fact that I get overwhelmed and my body goes into panic, and it all makes me feel very ill. And, for me, in the past, I used to be able to, I used to work all week, 5 days a week, and go out at the weekend. Now, if I work one day, I spend the next day sleeping. And then the next day I do, and I suppose I say that I will do work as in, writing and design and stuff, but I wouldn't be able to like take myself into the city 5 days a week and just be racing around and request. Like I couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't. And I'd have to sleep for like a day to recover and then go out the next day. So so I guess I'm living the dream. I do 4 days instead of 5. Yeah, but it's like, even so, it's not like I have to sleep, because it's not like, oh, I'm just lounging around. Like I literally go to sleep and that's it. I pass out. You can't wake me up for like 10 hours unless like it's a certain sound or something like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, whatever, talking too much. EMDR. So I guess one of the fears is it going to change me as a person? I'm going to be like a different person, because like having PTSD has its usefulness, in the sense that the hypersensitivity is hellish, but then I don't know if I've already said, but it really feeds into my art, and it makes me really kind of like, so when I describe things and I'm writing poetry and stuff, it's really easy for me to be descriptive, because the feelings are so intense. To someone else, the way you describe it sounds really interesting and like quite unusual, but that's because my experience is just that bit more extreme. You know what I mean? I was trying to explain it to someone, they don't get the whole kind of sensory issues, and I was like, they're like, I don't like that sound either, but you just have to deal with it. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You find that sound annoying. I feel like that sound is going to make my head explode. I feel like something horrendous is going to happen. I feel like, and then I get into rolling bad thoughts about what I need to do. I can't exist like this. Let's leave it at that. But you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not, oh, it's annoying. If it was annoying, I'd go to the person and say, can you stop? Or if it was annoying, I'd just be like, that's annoying. Do you know what I mean? Like that would be about the limit. But when I hear something, this and it's funny because people say to me, oh, whatever, trying to rationalize it. I'm like, look, I lived for many years not being diagnosed with PTSD, and now I do have it. So I don't need you to tell me what is normal. I could actually just think back to 3 years ago and say, right, well, what was normal for me 3 years ago? Normal was socializing. Normal was having a partner. Normal was having plans, having a job I have a job, you know what I mean? Like, not, now I'm a coach and I'm like moving around, but having a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, salaried, pension, blah, 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 blah. I was one of those. And now I'm one of these, which is like just totally unregulated. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, what? I know that's not normal. I know, I'm well aware of like the differences. So yeah, it's kind of funny. So I just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be like. When anyone says to me, what's EMDR therapy? I go, it's the tappy one. It's the tappy one. And also I understand that you know, with PTSD or with trauma, our left and right side of the brain are not communicating effectively. So that's why we have the emotional no regulation on the emotions, the deregulation, and also, you know, just going into panic and anxiety and stuff, like really high and extreme really quickly, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping it will get resolved to an extent. I'm a bit nervous because I spoke to the women, there was a woman, and she said to me, what are you expecting from this? What are your, you know, yeah, well, I guess, yeah, what are your expectations? And I was just like, I want to be normal. I want to be back to normal, please. And she went, okay, those are really high expectations. So what are your realistic expectations? I was just like, what? What? I thought EMDR was going to fix it all. I thought I'd just been missing that special thing. And in fact, I have had other people say to me that, like, literally you only need 6 sessions and you'll be, you know, you won't be diagnosed with PTSD anymore and stuff. So, you know, who knows? But I don't know if I'm going to feel like a different person or how it's going to affect me. I mean, maybe it will just take away the bad things, like the isolation and stuff. And I get to keep the good things, like being able to be like really descriptive. I don't know. But okay, anyway, so it's just a bit of a ramble, but I guess the gist is it's like a video diary of going to EMDR therapy, and I've got absolutely nothing to say about EMDR therapy until tomorrow. So it's my first session. It's going to be an hour and a half. I'm doing it online, which is great because I can't get out anyway. Well, I can't. Oh, see, I don't want you to think I don't leave the house at all. Like, I don't for days at a time, and then I realize I haven't, and then I go out. But I'll go out when it's quiet. And I mean, part of that as well is because I've been working online a lot. So, you know, obviously, if I get a client and they want me to, you know, go somewhere, well, go to their property, I will. And that's, you know, that's fine. But because I've been teaching online and that, you know, I haven't, I'll be like, oh, I haven't left the house for like days on end. But I really do need it online because I wouldn't even know how to get there, like need about it, transport and stuff like that. I don't know how to get there. So yeah, I need them to kind of at least start this way. So yeah, let's see if I'm a completely different person tomorrow or if I'm like super traumatized. Maybe you have to go really down to come up. I don't know. I haven't got a clue what's going to happen to me. But you know, tap 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 apparently, and talk maybe. Probably. Oh my gosh. Okay, video diary coming up. But yeah, as I said, this is probably only interesting someone who's going through the process. So I'll be putting out some other videos as well for like people who want to see something else. All right, I'm gonna go. I've got a really early EMDR booking. Because I don't know about you, but I was a bit of an insomniac anyway, but since I've had PTSD, I'm like hardcore insomniac. And someone said to me, but you sleep like 10 hours, so you can't be an insomniac. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't get to choose when I sleep. What happens to me, I just pass out and that's it, passed out. But I can spend 2 or 3 hours trying to get to pass out. So yeah, I don't know. But then obviously those 10 hours after that, I feel really good. So, you know, um, if you're not working like set hours, you can kind of sleep when you can, kind of thing. Yeah. All right. See you once I've had some therapy.